Good afternoon, everyone. And today we're going to start the UPSC Civil Services Examination Orientation at Analog. So there are two things that would happen in this orientation. First, I'll give an introduction on how the Civil Service Examination is conducted. And then secondly, we'll explain on how Analog IAS would also help in your Civil Service Examination preparation. Before we start, I want to also introduce one more aspect that tomorrow on Saturday, we have a toppers talk. So we have a toppers talk with Shivani Panchal, who got a All India rank 53. And if you were to see the chat box, they would have a link where you can come to the topper talk also. And you can ask the topper any doubts, any queries, preparation tips that you would prefer. And on Sunday, we have what is known as Astra. It's a scholarship test. And if you get good marks, you would be able to get scholarship and study at Analog IAS. And again, the link for the scholarship test is also given below. And you can also call at Analog, or you can go to the website to get more information about this. You would prefer. So, and on Sunday, let us start. We have what is known as how it's a scholarship examination, and if you get good marks, you would be able to get scholarship and study at Analog IAS. And again, the link for the scholarship test is also given below, and you can also call at Analog, or you can the civil service examination in itself is divided into three parts. And you have stage 1, let us start. Stage 2 and stage. It's a scholarship examination, and if you get good marks. The stage 1 is what is known as the prelims examination. That is actually going to happen soon. So it is on 25th May, the prelims examination itself. And that would be the first stage. In prelims examination, I'll explain each part of the syllabus separately also. The second stage is the mains examination. It is a merit exam, while the civil service prelims examination is a qualifying exam. What it basically means is that when you undertake the prelims examination, the marks that you get, it is not added to the final marks. The prelims examination is to ensure that there are 8 lakh people that actually give or fill the form for civil service examination. 5 lakh people give the exam. Now, UPSC wants to reduce this 5 lakh to 15,000 maybe, depending on year to year, different number is there. But let's say to 15,000 they want to reduce. So what happens is, there is a particular cutoff, and anyone who has gotten more than that cutoff qualifies to give the mains examination. That is why it is a qualifying examination. You qualify to give the second stage, or you to get to the second stage. The marks that you get in prelims is not counted in what is known as the final merit. The final merit would consist of 2 parts, the stage 2 and stage 3. This is the mains examination, and after that, if you qualify stage 2, you get to stage 3, which is the personality test, or what is famously known as the interview. Within the prelims examination, you have 2 types of paper. You have GS paper 1 and you also have CSAT. GS paper 1 basically consists of current affairs plus static. You have topics like, and I explain the syllabus separately also, geography, history, current events, polity, constitution, and other aspects. While CSAT is much more similar to having an arithmetic and an English test. All of the questions are objective based. So I'll give you an example. So you would have a statement and it would have 4 options, A, B, C, and D, and you have to mark the correct option. So it's an objective type of examination, both GS paper 1 and CSAT examination. There is also negative marking, which is 1/3. Now, one question carries 2 marks, so 1/3 of 2 marks would be 0.6, which would be the cutoff. And within the prelims examination, it is also divided into 2 parts. You have what is the merit score of GS paper 1, and the CSAT in itself has a qualifying score. So what it basically means is that when you are giving the GS paper 1, so this year I think the cutoff was around 87 something, last year was around 84 something. That means if you get more than this marks, So total marks is of 200. Out of this, you need this much mark to qualify. That means once you've gotten and crossed this particular limit, you qualify for the second stage or stage 2. Depending on which category you belong to, the cutoff also is different. For general, for SC, ST, OBC, the cutoff would be different. CSAT in this is also therefore a qualifying exam, meaning that in CSAT examination you need 33%. So out of 200 you get 33%, you qualify. That means, let's say in the merit examination in last year, GS paper 1, you have gotten 90 marks. That means you would have qualified because you have gotten more than the cutoff. But let's say you got only 25% here. That means you have failed in CSAT. So it doesn't matter whether you have qualified in the first paper. But because you have not qualified in the CSAT examination, you would not qualify for stage 2 itself. So you need to get more than 33% here, and whatever the cutoff is for GS paper 1. We teach this also, and we teach this also at analog. Hopefully you get the basic idea of how stage 1 is conducted, and this is basically the syllabus for the GS paper 1 and the CSAT examination. Every part of this syllabus is taught. Let me just show you. So you have GS paper 1, current events of national and international importance. This is something that I teach. And let me just first also tell you something about myself. My name is Ankur Sharma. I've done PhD in International Relations from South Asian University. I've also been an assistant professor of political science, and I've taught at Delhi University also. I was also All India rank 3 in UGC NET in International and Area Studies. And at Analog, I teach polity, international relations, and political science optional. All the faculties that you would interact with at Analog are extremely qualified and as qualified as everyone else. So in the prelims, this portion I'll take. You will also be taught history of India, Indian national movement, geography, polity, which I again, something I'll teach. You have economic and social development, environment, and basic general science at generally said to be at 10th level, but in UPSC it's not the case. Apart from this, you also have the CSAT examination, basically arithmetic plus English, but you only need 33% out of 200 marks to qualify here. Every portion of this syllabus of your GS paper 1 would be done in classes. We also have test. So let's say if I've taught today, you'll have a test on what I've taught today tomorrow. You'll also be given handouts, you'll also be given booklets, and apart from this, you'll get handwritten notes from the class itself, in which whatever I teach would be, and other teachers would teach would be dictated. Once, let's say I start with polity. I'll explain the syllabus. I'll explain the syllabus in depth, and we'll also do 10 years of previous year questions. So 10 years of prelims question we'll discuss. It's not about I show you what the questions are. We'll discuss why this option is correct, how to prepare for those questions. Same in the mains examination. We'll discuss all the questions that have been asked in the stage 2, which is the mains examination, and we'll do answer writing also, which I'll explain. These are the type of questions that you get as objective in GS paper. So you have one statement. So as per Article 368 of the Constitution, the Parliament may amend any provision of the Constitution by this, and you have to choose a correct option. Incorrect option, you'll get 0.66, because one question carries 2 marks. So 1/3 of 2 would be 0.66, would be the negative mark. Similarly, you have a question, overall 100 questions would be there. There would be certain level of weightage, maybe 15 questions for polity, 15 from economy, but it changes year on year basis. All of these questions that have been asked in the past, now 11 years, we'll also be discussing. Now, assuming that you have qualified the prelims examination, you've gotten the cutoff, that means you have qualified for the mains examination, which is stage 2. And in this, you have a merit exam. So the first thing that you would have is actually the language paper. So you would have to give a paper on English and you would have to give a paper on a compulsory Indian language. So that means whatever language that your mother tongue is, whatever language that you have studied up till 10th, or an Indian language that you are comfortable with. So let's say if you want to give this language exam in Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, Hindi, that would be your preference. It is only qualifying, meaning that I think you need to get 25% in each of the paper and you would be considered qualified. These marks are not added to the final result. Its marks are not counted to the final merit itself. You only need to get the minimum. Assuming, let's say, in the other examinations, you have gotten enough marks to qualify for stage 3, but you have failed here. What happens is, if you get less than 25%, let's say you gotten 20% in the language examinations, your papers would not be checked at all. So the first paper that is checked in mains examination is your language paper. If you fail in any one of them, rest of the papers are not even checked. It's easy. The English and the Indian language paper has basically at the 10th level. You just need to show that you can read and write within that particular language. The merit papers of mains examination is, first you have the essay paper. So in this you get 2 essays. So what would happen is you have section A, you would have section B. You would get 4 options here and 4 options here. You have to choose one and on which you have to write an essay. And from section B you also choose one and you have to write a essay. And this would be taught. You'll have classes on how to write essay, you'll have answer writing practices where the faculty would check, and you would have evaluation so that you're able to write good essay. Writing a good essay really is extremely helpful because you get very good marks. The ability to get good marks is very high in essay. Then you have GS paper 2, 3, 4, which I'll talk about. Syllabus wise I'll talk about them separately. After this you have the optional examination. Optionals you can choose, they're multiple. You can choose a language paper, you can choose Telugu, Tamil, Hindi. You can also choose social science, like I teach political science but we have faculties for other subjects also. You can choose natural science paper also. You can choose mathematics also, medical science also. It's up to you. The UPSC has given a huge list and you can choose any of them. And it doesn't matter what your graduation is. Let's say if you're an engineer and you want to pick political science or sociology or geography as the option, it's not a problem. You can pick that and it would not be an issue. So whatever you have studied in graduation does not mean you only have to pick that subject. You can pick any subject, the options that are given for UPSC. Total of this becomes 1750. So meaning these are the merit ones. Essay plus the general studies paper, the 2 optional, and this is the merit. After this, if you get enough marks there. So the highest somebody has gotten is in India, Anurdeep Shetty. He got around 54%. So if you get around roughly this figure, more than 50%, between 54, you would be able to hopefully qualify for the mains examination. And you move on to stage 3, which is the interview or the personality test, which you probably have seen a lot on YouTube of various people that have qualified giving interviews. We actually have the topper talk tomorrow also with one of the persons that qualified last year, or actually this year. Now if you look at the syllabus of the mains examination, you have the essay, so you have to write 2 essays. GS paper 1 has Indian heritage and culture, history, geography, world and society. GS paper 2 has governance, constitution, polity. Like these 3 aspects I teach. I'll also teach you international relations. In GS paper 3 you have technology, economy, biodiversity, disaster management, and GS paper 4 ethics. Now what would happen is, let's say today I'm starting to write 2 essays. I'll explain you the detailed syllabus of polity. We'll go through every aspect of the syllabus, every faculty. Let's say the history faculty is teaching you. He'll go through the basics of every part of the syllabus. We'll discuss PYQs on how UPSC has formed the questions also, how you should be able to answer them, right? Every portion of this would be taught to you at analog. Every part of the syllabus would be taught to you. Right? These are the type of questions or the way that the question is asked within the mains examination. You have 10 markers and you would have a 15 marker. A 10 marker question has to be written in 150 words. A 15 marker question has to be written in 250 words. So we'll do a lot of answer tests in class. If you have a doubt whether we do all of this or not, you ask one of my students. That's the easiest thing to do. You ask one of the students whether it is done or not, and they would be the best guide in this. So today I've taken a class, I've given a question. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, students will bring this. I'll check them, I'll evaluate it myself, and they would be able to make sure that their answer writing is improved for the mains examination. Okay. That is all in relation to your UPSC Civil Services examination. Once, hopefully I do meet you in class, we'll start with polity, constitution and governance, and one of the first things that we'll talk about is the syllabus. We'll discuss the syllabus in detail, both for prelims examination and for mains examination. That would be there. And we'll cover every portion of the constitution, we'll cover every portion of the syllabus, we'll discuss all the PYQs, whether prelims or mains examination, and we'll also focus on NCERT, on how you can use NCERT for your improvement. And apart from this, you'll get handouts, books and other material that is required from analog also. Now, if you have any doubts, you can ask in the chat group also. If you have a question. And one of my colleagues, Sidhu sir, is now going to take orientation session and continue with this. He'll explain what we do at analog. He'll explain how the tests are conducted. He'll explain how the material that we get, how the classes are conducted, and what the students will get from us, and what we expect from the students also. So just give maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and Sidhu sir will now take over.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone. Dindadibu. Okay, meanwhile, let me discuss something about this civil service examination because Ankur sir has already discussed regarding what is the pattern of civil service examination and what kind of questions generally we get in prelims examination and what is that you have to learn, what kind of books that you have to read. Okay. Now what I will do is I will explain you certain things related to civil services and the way that you have to prepare for civil services rather than reading about so many books, because if you see in civil service examination when a student, people like you just wanted to start your preparation, most of the students generally they just go and search YouTube or Google asking like how to prepare for civil services. Now what happens? When you just Google in internet how to prepare for civil service, you will get plenty of links, plenty of documents, plenty of resources. And if you actually go and see YouTube, you want to just listen to some of the rankers videos, they talk so many things about the civil service preparation. But there are certain things which are common to what all the rankers talk about. All the rankers talk about certain common things which everyone has to do when you start preparing for civil service examination. Let me discuss certain things on this one. Just give me a second. Okay. Now, okay. Now, if you see civil service examination, assuming that you want to prepare for 2026 examination. Right now, we are in 2025, okay? Now that you want to prepare for 2026 examination, wherein you are writing civil service examination 2026. Now, if you see the timelines, May, you are going to write prelims examination. Similarly, we have actually in 2025, this month May, you have prelims examination. In fact, this year it is 25th May. 25th May, you have prelims examination this year, this month. Similarly, most likely next year, 2026, prelims will happen in the month of May. Most likely it would be last Sunday of May or first Sunday of June, it will be prelims examination. And then you are going to have mains examination in the month of August or September, you are going to have mains examination. Now, you are here, exactly here. You are exactly here at this stage, you are here right now, okay? Now, from now onwards, if you really want to crack civil services 2026 examination, then there are certain things that you should always understand and remember also. The first thing is, you should understand the timeline. Now, as you know, sir would have already explained how you have to prepare for a specific kind of a subject or what kind of books that you have to refer to, how to read the books, and while reading the books also you need to refer to previous question papers. Ankur sir already explained you all these things. Now what is important to us is, if you look at the examination 2026, let us start planning things right from the mains examination. You have June, July and again August. So this is the time frame wherein generally you are going to have 3 to 3.5 months. 3 to 3.5 months for you after prelims examination to prepare, revise practice for your mains examination. And what you are going to do in these 3 to 3.5 months, as I just mentioned, you are going to revise as well as practice. You are going to revise as well as practice of the syllabus that you have for mains examination. And one thing you have to remember here always, you are always going to revise only your summarized notes or your short notes that you already prepared beforehand for your mains. This includes general studies as well as your optional subject whichever you have chosen. And not only you revise, you are also going to do lots and lots of practice, because in the examination within the limited time frame you have to write so many answers, and all those answers which cover the entire syllabus of the optional subject or general studies. Therefore, you need not only just revisions, you also need a lot of practice. And this revision and practice you are going to do only for those syllabi which you have already prepared, and there are no new things that you are going to prepare in this time frame. The only new issues or new things, new content that you are going to prepare, learn, would be only current affairs, nothing else. The new things that happen in this period, the new issues from newspapers, current affairs, articles that you read, or whatever current relevant things that you have, you are going to read them along with the revisions and practice of whatever you have in the syllabus. Now, this time frame from May prelims to mains examination, this is completely reserved for revisions and practice, plus the new things would be current affairs. Similarly, if you see this January, February, March and April, if you see, okay, if you see them, these 3 months, March, April and May, those people who are writing prelims examination for the first time when you are writing prelims examination, then these 3 months are exclusively meant for again revisions and practice of syllabus related to prelims. The more you revise, the more you practice here, the better would be your performance in prelims. You will be able to clear your prelims examination. The same stance I just mentioned for mains as well. The more you revise, the more you practice, the better would be your performance even in your mains examination, which is going to carry forward for your final merit list. Got it? Now, what you have now here is, again, even before prelims, it's not only revisions and practice, the only new things that you are going to read would be current affairs. The new things are current affairs, and the revisions will happen for those things which you have already completed. Got it? Now that, it also means that this is the benchmark. This is the benchmark. February ending is the one which is the benchmark for you guys, where from May till December here, plus January and February, these are the months in which you have to complete your syllabus. Complete your syllabus. Syllabus of what? Prelim syllabus and main syllabus along with optional syllabus. You have to complete by end of February. When you complete by end of February, what happens? You can start your revisions of prelims, March, April, May, revisions and practice with current affairs, and then after prelims, again 3.5 months, you are going to revise, practice some new current affairs for your main syllabus. Are you getting this? It also means that what you have is from May till December plus January and February. You have nearly 10 months for your preparation. I would rather say less than 10 months for your preparation for civil service examination. And by this time, you have to complete your syllabus and then start your revisions. Now, why I am telling you all these things? The only reason why I am telling you all these things is the general perception of the student is that when they start their preparation now in the month of May, they always feel like next year we have civil service examination, therefore I have plenty of time for my preparation. But no, it's not plenty of time. You have very much limited time. Your actual preparation, the first time when you start your preparation, the actual preparation would be only till February. After that, it's all about revisions and practice, but nothing else. It's all about revisions and practice. Are you getting my point? So, you have to plan now itself. If it is 2026 is your exam year, then quite obviously you don't have enough time if you don't start your preparation in the month of May. May is the right time to start your preparation always. That's what my idea of writing all these things, telling you not from here but coming from backwards. So generally everyone has a tendency of planning everything from here. Today onwards, what I am going to do for next 1 or 2 years to come. Rather, in civil service preparation, the best way of planning is that start from day when you are going to write your exam, and it is from mains that you have to back plan. The planning has to be towards back side, not towards forward side. Okay, when you plan that way, then you will understand how much time it is available for you guys. Now, if you delay it further, suppose June, July, August, September, October, November, suppose. Now, the more delay that you are going to make to start your preparation, suppose you want to start your preparation from the month of August. Now, what you have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, only 7 months is available for you for your first round of preparation, which definitely is not at all sufficient for your completion of the syllabus, because anyway you have to revise from the month of March. Again, suppose if you want to start your preparation from the month of October, what you have is 3 plus 2, only 5 months for your completion of syllabus, which 100% is not at all possible for you to complete the syllabus, because the syllabus is little bit vast. Of course, with a strategic preparation, with a plan which is suitable for civil services 2026 exam, you can actually make it. But when you are in May, you have to start your preparation from May itself. I think you're getting my point. Okay, so this is how you have to start your preparation. This is what we call as a plan, a proper plan for your next nearly 1.5 years to come. Now, what is also more important here is, now I understood that I am going to prepare for civil service examination. Now that I want to write 2026 examination, yes. Now, thank you so much, sir. You have really opened our eyes, saying that you don't have enough time. We have to start our preparation immediately. That's also very good. Now, what happens is, I need to tell you this point, because this is very important for students to understand that next year I am going to write, therefore when I start my preparation, it's good enough. No. As Ankur sir already mentioned, it's not that you have to read each and every book. No. It's not that you have to write notes for each and every book. Again, no. It's not that a ranker tells so many books to read because he has read all those books, and another ranker talks about so many other list of books. Another ranker talks about so many list of books. Then you have to read all these books? No. Every ranker has got his or her own strategy of preparing for this examination. What would be the strategy? He would have explained his strategy. He has read these books, this is material. He would have written this test series. He would have has maybe kind of these kind of peer group where they daily used to discuss and clarify their doubts. So this is something, a game plan which a ranker would have adopted. Another ranker would have adopted his or her own strategy in his or her own way. But what about you? you also need to have your own strategy. Now, how do you form that strategy? Which strategy will fit into your scheme? Whether the strategy followed by All India Ranker 1, suppose All India Ranker 1 would have given his strategy. The strategy may be something like a plan 1, plan 2, plan 3, plan 4, plan 5, something like that. Maybe one of the plan is about what books to read. Another plan might be about what kind of videos or lectures he or she can see. Another thing would be like what kind of tests that he or she has to write. Okay, like this, people will have different things in their plan, but of which what all I can take for my preparation, that is more important. Okay, so don't directly jump to the conclusion that he or she has become All India Rank 1 because of these strategies or these plans. I will also adopt the same plans so that I will also become All India Rank 1. No, not at all. There is no guarantee that the same ranker, if the same strategy is adopted, next year they can crack the same examination and become All India Rank 1. The also possibility is that they could not even clear prelims also, that is a possibility. There are so many instances that happened that way. Okay, someone had become IPS this year, next year prelims exam itself they could not qualify. And there is always possibility that the same IPS would have become IAS officer also. So every possibility would happen. Only thing is, you have to understand the way UPSC is asking questions always. Okay, fine. Okay, so let me talk about one more thing. One important thing, and then maybe if you have any questions, maybe you can give those questions, or you can ask those questions in the chat so that I can start explaining those answers. Okay, fine. So there is one more thing which is very important, which everyone should understand whenever you start your preparation for civils. What is that? I will explain to you something called as forgetting curve. Why this forgetting curve? Why this theoretical kind of a thing? Don't worry. I will tell you why this is important. Okay. What is this forgetting curve? I will put it in a very simple way. If you take this graph, wherein this is the time frame, okay, and then this is the retention. Suppose this is somewhere 100%. Suppose assuming that just now you learned something. Just now you attended a class. Okay. Now just now you learned something. Okay. So this is about 0 minutes or 0 seconds, whatever you call this juncture, this instance. Okay. So assuming that you remember 100% at this moment. Now what happens is, this is not something which I did not tell, this is something which decades back there was a scientific research which was conducted, in which there is this kind of results have come. Okay. Whenever you learn something, immediately there is a huge drop in your way you remember things. Huge drop. It's a huge drop. Immediately you start forgetting. That's why we call it as forgetting curve. The only reason we call it a forgetting curve because this is what happens. It's a steep drop in your retention. And this is so steep that in 1 hour in 1 hour, you will lose more than 50% of whatever you learn. This is not what I am saying. I might be wrong in terms of the numbers, exact numbers, but it's more or less, it might be 48 or somewhere around that. Okay. Now, in 1 week, it would be, look at this one, this would be too much, it is more than 70%. If you look at 1 month, it is nearly 80% of whatever you learn is already lost. 1 month, it's just 1 month. 1 month is somewhere 78 or 79% is already lost. So what you remember is only this much. This is very pathetic. This is not what I undergo. Every one of you undergo a similar kind of forgetting pattern. Okay? Now, if this is the case, as I just told you in the previous slide, in the previous one, what I just told you, that what you have is nearly 10 months you have. 10 months you have from May till February. Now, just now I mentioned in 1 month I am going to lose 80%. Now, after 10 months, what I am going to recollect? What I am going to remember? I would have forgotten each and everything, whatever I learned for the last 10 months. Because whatever I learned in May, I would have already lost in the month of 80% is already lost in the month of June. Whatever I learned in June, I would have already lost 80% in the month of July. Then what do you think like I am going to remember by end of February? Almost nothing. Maybe I could recollect whatever I learned in the month of February, but by end of February, whatever I learned is almost lost. It also means that when you start your revision in the month of March, it looks as if you are a very fresh candidate. Last 10 months of preparation has become waste. You won't remember anything. This is exactly what happens to 99% of the candidates who appear for civil service examination, who spend lakhs of rupees, years of energy on civil service preparation because they forget everything that they learn. They forget everything that they learn. And when they start revising in the month of March, what happens? They don't remember anything. They would have forgotten everything. They feel like as if I'm a new candidate. In 3 months, I have to revise everything syllabus related to prelims examination, which is very difficult. Not only revision, you have to do practice also, which is very difficult. Now, how to come out of this situation? And this is exactly what I'm telling you. This is exactly what's happening for more than 99% of those who write this examination. You have to know this fact even before you actually start your preparation. That is the intention behind me talking to you on this one right now. This curve that I am talking about is a very, very important curve. You have to reverse this process of forgetting. How do you reverse this process of forgetting then? It's very simple. It's very simple. Now, in 1 hour, when you are losing this one, what you have to do is, you have to revise whatever you read again and then come back to 100% again. Revision. Not only revision, if you practice at the time of revision, it is far better. Again it drops. Again it drops. Because it's forgetting. Forgetting is a natural phenomenon. Therefore, again it drops. But if you see this one, the way it is dropping, the rate at which it is dropping is slow compared to the rate at which it steeply has fallen like this. It has steeply fallen like this. But here it is not steep. It is not steep like this. It is little bit not so steep. Okay? It also means that you are not able to forget so fast like previous one, but still you are forgetting. Now what you have to do? Within 24 hours, when you are here, in this case here, again revise it. When you revise it again, you come back to 100%. Now again it falls. But this time again, though there is a fall in your retention capacity, the rate at which it is falling is not so high compared to the previous one. But still you are forgetting. Therefore, in 1 week, again you are going to revise. It again falls. Again, if you look at 1 month, again it is going to fall. And in 3 months, again you will revise, practice. Again there is a fall, but this time the fall is so less. The retention capacity increases as you keep on revising. Not only revisions, you have to do practice also. Practice plus revisions or revisions plus practice. This has to be part of your entire journey of civil services preparation. Most of the times it so happens that students, they always start learning only. Learning alone, just learning. 10 months they learn. Learn. It's not many books. Keep on reading books, underlining, notes making, so read another book, underlining, notes making. They do so many things. Learn, feed your mind, feed your brain, so much so that you don't even know that you are actually forgetting the same process. Just learning is not sufficient because you are actually forgetting everything. Now what is also important is, along with the learning, you also need to do revisions as well as practice parallelly. Learnings, revisions and practice, what we call as a LRP. This is called as LRP technique. This technique is important. Along with the learnings, you should always have revisions and practice. How many revisions? How much of practice that you need to have? That this graph tells us. Okay? How? 1 hour. Okay, every 1 hour you cannot revise. It's very difficult. So there is a technique how to reverse this one. The reversal technique which I told you. But how to systematically do this one? I have a plan for this. The plan is, within 24 hours, whenever you read something, within 24 hours you revise it as well as practice it. So we conduct a test called as daily test. We conduct a test called as daily test. Daily test. Okay? Every 24 hours, whatever you read today, within 24 hours, you are supposed to revise it and also write an exam. And then weekly test. Weekly test means in 7 days, whatever you read, you have to revise it again. Maybe on Saturday or Sunday, you revise it and write a test. And then fortnightly test. Fortnightly test is 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, whatever you learn, you have to revise and write the test. Similarly, monthly test, every month, whatever you read in the entire month, first day of the month till the last day of the month, you revise it, practice. Practice means write the test. And then quarterly test, 3 months. 3 months test. 3 months, whatever you read, you learned something, you revise it, you also practice it. So if you can do such kind of a practice 5 times, what you have done in 5 times, you not only learned, you also revised, you also practiced 5 times. Any concept, you do this exercise 5 times. Throughout your life, you are not going to forget it. This is not what I am saying. This is what you do. Search in your internet, type forgetting curve, you will get all these details. And how to reverse this forgetting, again you will get this 5 times wala. And based on these 5 times, we created a program called as Abhyasa. What is Abhyasa? Abhyasa is a Sanskrit term. Sanskrit term meant for actually practice. Abhyasa is a Sanskrit term meant for practice. Okay, we call it as Abhyasa. In this Abhyasa program, you will be writing daily tests, weekly tests, fortnightly tests, monthly tests and quarterly test, which is really a critical thing which is important for your preparation, because if you see just whatever I just mentioned, by this time, by the end of February, when you complete all your first round of preparation, still you should be able to remember each and everything that you already learned in the month of May. Whatever you learned in the month of May, you should be able to recollect in the month of February also. That's what is exactly your Abhyasa program. Okay. Now after this, what happens, since you are already practiced lot many things and remember everything, this revisions become very easy, so that you will be able to clear your prelims, and this revision, mains revision also becomes very easy, so that you can clear your mains exam as well. That is the idea behind this Abhyasa program. Got it? It's very important. See, why people fail in the first attempt or second attempt, third attempt, or why people take so many attempts is because of this reason. The reason being that they forget things, not that they are not intelligent, not that they are not hardworking. Everyone, I'm telling you, all the serious aspirants are really hardworking and really intelligent people. And what is missing in them? The missing element is LRP. Most of the time students feel that they just wanted to learn. Only they focus on learning. They focus on learning but nothing else. But what is also important is, along with learning, you have to revise as well as you have to practice. Very important. Learning, revision and practice, all the three activities have to go together. It's a bundle, it's a package. They are not three different things. When you start first day of your preparation, you start learning. First day itself, within 24 hours, maybe it comes to the second day, you have to start your revisions. Not only revisions, practice also has to happen. That's very important. Okay? Fine then. I think everybody understood this one. Very critical element. This is scientifically proven one. 5 times revision and practice. So again, let me warn you guys here. See sir, you said like 5 times if I revise anything, I will remember this forever, throughout my life. Yes, but I am not able to recollect, sir. What is the problem? See, the problem might be that today, 24 hours you revised. Tomorrow you revise. Day after tomorrow you revise. 5 times, 5 days you revise the same thing, useless. That's useless again. The 5 times revision has to happen exactly the way I am telling you. 24 hours, 7 days, 15 days, 30 days, 90 days. That's how it should be. It is also called as spaced revision and practice. What is spaced? Time spacing. So time spacing has to keep on increasing. 24 hours, 1 week, 15 days, 1 month, 3 months. That's how it has to be. Fine. Okay. So if you have any such questions, please keep charting. Okay. Let me check. Okay. Now, I think the previous teacher, Mr. Ankur, has discussed about the questions that has to be, the way the UPSC asks questions, the way you have to answer those questions as well. Okay. Now, if you see the latest rankers, whoever are the latest rankers, okay. If you look at their strategies, the plan, whatever they have done, because all these days, every 2-3 days we are talking to the rankers, our institute rankers and rankers who are from different other places. When we talk to them, there is something which is common to all these guys. What they have done, a common thing that they have done, which I told you, LRP is something which is common, learning, revision and practice which is common. Again, while practicing also, when you do practice, there's something which are very important. What you have to do is, there's so many rankers who are actually these days uploading their answer scripts. So many rankers who are uploading their answer scripts. Okay. Okay. Rankers answer scripts. Look at those answer scripts. Observe them. Different rankers, their answer scripts, observe them. It's always important that whatever you are writing, whatever you are practicing, you need to take the feedback. Okay? Whenever you are taking feedback, it's always important that whether you are writing, just give me a second. Okay, so someone is asking about CSAT. So I'll come back to that CSAT. Just give me a few minutes. So slip పంపించండి సరిపోతుంది. Okay, someone is asking about CSAT. I will talk about CSAT later. Okay, fine. Answer scripts of the rankers. This is very critical, very important, because every ranker I talk to, most of the rankers, almost I would say every ranker, they talk about answer scripts. Answer scripts of whom? The rankers who have already uploaded. Okay. Look at different rankers, their answers, how they are writing. You can always observe something common in all their answer scripts. That is something which you have to identify. Every student identifies certain things in different answers. Unless you actually observe that, you will not able to answer, you are not able to identify that underlying common factors or parameters which every ranker follows. That underlying common factors, they are the one which are important. Identify them and try to keep all those underlying factors in your mind while answering your answers, while practicing your answers. Try to see that these factors always come in your answers, so that when they got good marks for their answers, you also will get good marks. These are certain kind of tips. These are certain kind of tips for answer writing. Okay, there are so many tips like this which you keep learning over a period of time, but one such tip is this one. Okay, now let me go back to one question which a student asked, that is about CSAT. Okay, fine. CSAT. So for those people who don't understand what is CSAT, CSAT is Civil Services Aptitude Test, and what you have in Civil Service Aptitude Test, broadly there are 3 items. One is English reading comprehension, next is arithmetic. Arithmetic, people say it as maths, but though it is not maths, it is just numbers and some other things, some other concepts which are based on common sense, but still people talk it as maths, but it's okay. We call it as mental ability as well in some instances. The other thing is reasoning. The other thing is reasoning. There are 3 elements. Okay. Now, I don't say that they are equally distributed, definitely not, they are not equally distributed. English reading comprehension, you will get more questions when compared to arithmetic and reasoning, but it keeps changing. Some years arithmetic will have more weightage, some years reasoning will have more weightage. Okay. Now, there are 2 types of aspirants here. One type of aspirants generally who came from urban areas, maybe some cities kind of areas, where they would have gone to their school which is an English medium school kind of a thing, or they would have read lot of English novels or books, or they would have got already some kind of good English book reading habits. Okay, they are the one who generally will have some kind of advantage in English reading comprehension by default. Okay, by default they will have some kind of advantage in English reading comprehension. Okay, and another kind of students who come from extremely rural background, wherein they might be in English medium or they might be in their regional language medium, it doesn't matter. But they might not be so good in English reading comprehension because by this time they will not have read a lot of English books or English magazines or English newspapers or whatever. So they feel like they are weak at this area. That's fine, that doesn't matter. Okay. But first thing that if you understand, CSAT, it is for 200 marks. Okay. So there will be only 80 questions, of which it is only 66.6 marks that you should get to qualify. It is only 66.66 marks that you should get to qualify. It almost comes around 27 plus questions. 27 plus questions. Okay. It also means that if you can properly answer 27 plus, let me put it as 28 for your convenience. If you can correctly, 100% correctly answer 28 questions out of 80 questions, you qualify that paper. On an average, if you see English reading comprehension, if you see out of 80 questions, there might be questions from nearly 30 to 37 questions here. Arithmetic maybe from 18 to 22 questions. Reasoning also somewhere around 18 to 22 questions. Okay. It depends. It varies from year to year. Maybe plus or minus 10%. It varies. Okay. Now, see this one. You need to get 28 questions to qualify. Now, someone who is really good at English reading comprehension, he doesn't require arithmetic and reasoning, but still he can qualify this paper. 28, you see here, this is the one. But you have to have 100% accuracy levels in this case. Okay. If you feel like, of course, remember there is negative marking. Negative marking is there. What is negative marking? 1/3 of negative marking exists. That means if you attempt 3 questions wrong, 1 mark is deducted. 1 mark deducted out of 3 questions. That's what is negative marking for civil services. So if you attempt more number of questions, if more of the questions are wrong, 1/3 of those marks you are going to lose. Okay. Now, if you see like you are not so good at English, it's okay. But you are good at reasoning. This is something which you have to focus on them. Okay. Now this is something which you will be focusing on. Okay. You are good at reasoning. Generally, reasoning is completely based on your common sense. Your common sense is the one which matters. Okay. When reasoning is based on common sense, now if you really practice little bit more in reasoning, out of 18 to 22 questions, getting 15 questions correct is not such a difficult affair, provided you practice all these reasoning, different models of reasoning questions properly. But one thing which is also important is, if you look at the question, you should really able to understand this question is difficult question, it is going to take hell lot of time, let me not attempt this question. This question, yes, I think I can answer this question, I think I can get an answer very comfortably with less time. Pick up those questions. Pick up only those questions wherein you feel like, yes, I can answer these questions comfortably within the time frame. And those kind of questions, at least you should have 15 such questions. And rest of the questions, 13 questions, you can get some, maybe some 8 questions from here and remaining questions from here. Okay. So maybe some 5 questions from here. Okay. If you are not good, see, this is all about your game plan. But the problem is that it so happens in UPSC that in CSAT paper, Assuming that you are thinking of 5, 8, 15. Okay, 5, 8, 15. It's okay. Your bad luck that year that reasoning questions came out to be very, 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 very tough. Very, very, very tough. That you might not be getting 15, you might be getting only 10 questions. Then you are gone. You cannot clear the paper. Obviously, you cannot clear because it is 10 questions, you are 5 questions short of getting into 28 questions. Obviously, you are going to fail. You cannot qualify CSAT paper in prelims level. So, just looking at the 28 is not sufficient always. Okay? It's just that I am good at reasoning, therefore I will just target only 15 questions, that is good enough. No. Beyond this, you should choose any one of these two, English or arithmetic, in which at least you should have that capacity of scoring 50% in this one or 50% marks in this one. At least any other out of these three, this is you have got command over one of them, other two at least one of them 50% of the question, you should have that confidence that yes, I can answer 50% of the remaining questions in this arithmetic or in English reading comprehension, so that whatever you are losing here, you can always get them. But sir, how do I strategize this preparation? What kind of a strategy I should have for CSAT preparation? See, it's very simple. This is a minimum basic kind of a plan that you should have while attempting questions in the final examination. Of course, similar lines you are going to have your preparation as well. Okay. Now the point is amount of time that you have to spend on CSAT preparation. Strategy I told you how you are going to make it, but how much time? Two types of possibilities. One is someone who already has comfort zone in CSAT thing, they don't need to spend much time, but 3 months before prelims, 3 months before prelims, your time spent on CSAT should be at least 2 hours per day. 2 hours per day. Let me repeat. When you are preparing for this year prelims or next year prelims, whatever prelims, 3 months before your prelims examination, the minimum amount of time consistently that you have to put on CSAT, it might be English, arithmetic or reasoning, it doesn't matter. Minimum time that you have to prepare, you have to allocate is 2 hours per day is the minimum, plus weekly 1 test, plus weekly 1 test. These two are mandatory if you really want to crack that year prelims examination. If you don't do this one, I am telling you, no one can help you. You might be very good at CSAT, arithmetic, English, reasoning, but still, this is the minimum thing that you have to put. Don't be overconfident, because these days I have seen so many of my students saying that, sir, CSAT is something which I can always crack. Please let us discuss on the strategy for general studies. No. CSAT is as important as paper 1 GS. I have seen so many of my students who neglected CSAT in the end, especially the last 3 months, and could not clear GS 2 paper, which is also called CSAT paper, though they got extremely good marks in paper 1 GS paper. Okay. So my suggestion for you guys, whoever is thinking about CSAT paper, the last 3 months is very critical. Till the time you prepare notes, you prepare summarized notes, or you don't prepare summarized notes but you practice, but doesn't matter. Last 3 months, definitely matters when it comes to CSAT. Don't neglect that. Okay, so let me check for any more questions. If at all you have any questions. Okay, fine then. Fine then. So if at all you have some more questions to ask, please you can always ask us. You can always contact our institute, and then you can always come down to our institute, walk into our institute. You have people available in our institute. We have mentors, we have faculty sitting in the office, and then they can discuss lot many things with you. If you have any strategy problems, or if you have any concept oriented problems, you can always come back to us. Okay, and then for the kind information of students, at Analog IAS Academy, as I just mentioned, there is something called as Abhyasa program. Abhyasa program, which is, you know, the daily wala, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly tests. Okay. Along with that, what is also more important is mentorship. Mentorship is what? Hand holding. So you have certain doubts. Every day when the class gets completed, we have a teacher who will be clarifying your doubts. But when you go home, who is there to monitor your progress, or who is there to clarify your doubts? They are mentors. The mentors will clarify all your doubts 24/7. Whenever you have any doubt, you can always call them, you can always WhatsApp them, and then clarify all your doubts. Not only that, if you have any strategy problems, your mentors are there as well as teachers are there who can help you out in this one. Okay? And then remember one thing, it is your mentors who are going to evaluate your answer scripts of Abhyasa. Right. And then study materials. Study materials, in fact, we try to ensure that we have the best study materials given to our students. Okay, and these materials are prepared by not just by regular people, it is prepared by the faculty themselves. And the material, in fact, exactly, unless you attend the classes and unless you read this material, if you read both of them together, if you attend the classes and read the material together, that is how we complete everything. And the one best thing that we are going to do from this batch is that there is something called as a precursor and post cursors. What are they? Precursors and post cursors. Now whenever you come and attend a class, we'll let you know beforehand that this is a concept that is going to be taught in the class. For that concept, you should be knowing certain things beforehand, before attending the class. For example, if you want to attend a session, maybe suppose geography related questions, maybe like preamble, okay, or maybe fundamental rights, or maybe in geography monsoons, whatever it is, there will be certain terminology you should know before attending the session. So what points you should know before attending the session, I will give you beforehand so that you look into that and come to the class. After attending the class, I am going to give you post cursor. What is this post cursor? After attending this class, what are all those things that you have to remember from that session, from that class? This looks as if, for example, if you attend a class, when teacher is teaching in the class, you write some notes. What is that notes? You feel like this point is important, therefore let me note down this. Okay? Instead of you noting down, I would have already noted down all the things, and that is something which I am going to provide as post cursor to you. Okay? Fine. Yeah. So someone is asking about what is mentorship. So I think I just mentioned what is mentorship. So this mentorship is something which is very intensive program. Very intensive program wherein every student is allotted with one mentor. And this mentor is responsible for your progress in the class, outside the class also. In the class, when you listen to the session, when you listen to the lectures, okay, you understood something, there might be certain things which if at all you did not understand, the teacher anyway will clarify, but the mentor ensures that you understood everything in the class, and outside the class if you have any doubts you can always ask the mentor. Mentors will handhold you and take you and walk you through this entire journey of your preparation. If you feel like, sir, today I am not motivated, your mentor will help you. And whatever is the plan, for example, someone was talking about CSAT plan, okay, it might so happen that when I discuss CSAT plan, it might be very general for every student. But for you specifically, if you really want to have a separate CSAT plan as per your requirements, your mentor will address that. Your mentor will address what is that unique plan for you. Or for example, general studies also. In general studies, suppose someone wanted like, sir, I have my own plan. I prepared my own plan for this year prelims examination. Will it work or not? Please let me know. So your mentor will directly address that. Your mentor will look into that plan and tell you that, Shrikant, this is what you prepared, but if this is done, you might not clear this year prelims examination, but modify this one. I will tell you how to modify this one. This modified version is something which works out for you. And also, the mentor will give you your day-to-day plan also. Though from institute side we give the entire plan, but mentor personalizes, customizes, or he ensures that it is one-to-one personalized plan for you, so that you are always in touch with the mentor. Mentor is like your guide, your friend who is going to ensure that you are in right track throughout your preparation. That's what is a mentor all about. Okay, let me come back to precursor and postcursor, and this is a precursor and postcursor which are very important. Precursor before attending the class, postcursor after attending the class, and all these postcursors, they become your summary notes. They become your summary notes. Okay. Right. Okay. Any more questions, you can always ask me. Okay, fine. Along with that, along with precursor and postcursors, what we also do. Okay. Now, there is one program called as Adarsh. What is this Adarsh? Looks to be a very good name, but yeah, it's a good name and good program as well. I will tell you what is this Adarsh all about. This has got multiple things. In one single program, multiple things. One is your essay writing practice. Number two is group discussion. Number three is public speaking. Your public speaking. Okay. Now what are all the three together, how can we make as a program? That's what is a unique program called as Adarsh. It's a really a unique program of its kind. What we do here? See, every week I will give you a topic, an essay topic. Every week, one topic will be given to you. Okay? On Saturday, I will ask you all guys to gather together, and one after the other, a student comes and discusses about this essay topic. There might be certain points, maybe 10 points, 15 points, which he can deliver in front of everyone. It's a public speaking. Public speaking. You have to speak in front of all your friends. And students can ask questions. You have to answer those questions. In fact, you can discuss as a group also on those points that you mentioned, which comes as group discussion. After all the points are exhausted, the teacher who is monitoring this entire thing will give you some more additional points, because You might be discussing a topic, you might be delivering those points as per the perception that you have on the topic. For example, the topic can be on education, or maybe on terrorism, or maybe on social issues, or maybe on agriculture, or maybe on democracy, or some financial issues, or whatever. Okay. Now the point is, you would have certain kind of perception on the topic. Maybe you would have asked ChatGPT, give me the points. It would have given certain points. You would have discussed that in the session. But the teacher who is monitoring this session will give you other perspectives of looking at the same thing, because we need 360 degrees perspective, 360 degrees overview of this entire topic. It's not just one perspective, we need all the perspective, 360 degrees perspectives on the topic, which would be listed down. Finally, it is given to you so that you prepare on the topic again. You might be participating in that session or not, it doesn't matter. But you can take that handout and read all those points and come on Sunday, this is on Saturday, come to institute on Sunday and write essay on that. You write an essay. You write an essay on that. That essay would be evaluated, and the best essay is selected, and every week one best essay is selected, out of which, out of the 4 essays which are selected, one of the best essays would be selected per month. Per month there will be 4 essays, one perfect best essay would be selected. That essay would be published in our magazine called as Samiksha. Samiksha is a magazine, current affairs magazine, in which your essay would be published along with your photo as well as your ID number, so that you can see in that magazine, monthly magazine, which would be distributed throughout India, not only just for Hyderabad institutes or Hyderabad students, it is distributed throughout India. Thousands and thousands of copies goes to different parts of the country, and different libraries it goes, different student hands it goes. So your essay would be read by so many people. Okay, that's what we are going to do, and it is a privilege of privilege of our IAS Academy that we have seen so many bright students who actually have written so many good essays, and so many essays have been published in our monthly magazine, and there are so many accolades given by so many big personalities who keep telling us like, sir, your students are writing one of the best essays possible, and giving such essays to us and giving us opportunity to read such essays. Really, we are so thankful to you. So I keep getting so many letters and messages, and thank you so much for all those guys, and more than that, thank you so much for all the students. Okay. And finally, what I would say is, see, civil services preparation is not just like reading books, just writing answers, not that. It is all about evolving yourself as a good leader. Now some people say that, sir, when you start your preparation, maybe that I should think like an IAS officer. I don't know whether you'll become an IAS officer because you are thinking like an IAS officer. I'm not sure about that. But one thing is quite sure. When you prepare for civil service examination, it's not that you are developing your knowledge. More than that, you are evolving actually. Your personality is evolving. You are becoming a more better human being. You are becoming a better citizen of India. Not just because of the knowledge. It is also because the way you are thinking, the maturity of thinking. Your evolution is more important than the knowledge. Your thought process is more important than knowledge. In fact, exactly this is the reason why anyone who prepared for civil services very seriously, I'm telling you, your personality, in fact, is different compared to those who did not prepare for civil service examination. But I am telling this based on my experience, my own experience, my seniors' experience, my juniors' experience, decades of my teaching in which there are so many students who evolve themselves in terms of their personality, and there is no looking back for you. Success is something which is bound to happen for all those who prepare for civil services, but your preparation for civil services has to be very serious one, very focused one, and you should be serious enough to prepare for this examination. Unlike there are so many students who come to us, their parents paid the fee, but you are not serious. That is useless. I am telling you, you are wasting your time, you are wasting your parents' money and aspiration as well. But my suggestion for you guys is, you prepare for civil services, but seriously, not for the others, but for yourself, but your this thing. You become a proper human being, you become a better human being by preparing for civil service examination. Whether you become IAS or not doesn't matter. If you become IAS, very good. If you don't become IAS, also is more than very good. Because you have a lot of opportunities in this world. You can always claim whatever opportunity that you want. You can grab it for that matter. So you will become a better citizen, your thought process changes, your personality is a different personality altogether. Since you are a different person altogether, better than any of your peer group, your friends or anyone in front of you. So it is success that comes to you irrespective of whether you become IAS or not. So all the best for you guys. Thank you so much. But we'll come back to you again with the different models. And again, for your kind information, so there are certain other more programs. So we have a program which is Topper Stock. So every Saturday we are going to have Topper Stock with one of the rankers, of the latest rankers. This time we are having, tomorrow we are going to have a Topper Stock with All India rank 53. I think every Saturday we are having a Topper Stock with All India rank 53. I think you should attend and listen to the toppers, listen to their strategies, listen to how they crack this examination kind of plans, listen to how they crack the myths in this examination. For example, last week I was talking to one of the rankers. So we were talking about what kind of myths that you have in our civil service preparation. Like, sir, every ranker, they generally say that every day I have read 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. Is it a myth or a reality? Do you really actually prepare for 12 hours, 14 hours or 16 hours every day? Or it is just that I prepared for 8 hours or 10 hours? The rankers will actually decipher that. Rankers will break those myths. And sometimes people also ask me that, sir, 1 year we cannot crack this examination. It might require 4 years, 5 years. One attempt we cannot crack this examination. It might require 3 attempts or 4 attempts. Is it myth or reality? So these kind of discussions we have in this Topper Stock. You guys attend the session and then understand how rankers really have become the rankers that they are. Okay. At the same time, one more thing, every Sunday we are going to have a scholarship test called as Astra Scholarship Test. Astra Scholarship Test. This is a test meant for those people who you think that you are really very good student, very intelligent student, you are the right potential student to crack this examination, and if at all you want any discount in the fee, tuition fee, you can always write this examination. Or those who has got financial troubles, but at the same time you think like you can crack this examination, yes, you are the right person to write this Astra Scholarship Test. Okay. Now go to our website www.analogeducation.in. Go to the website and /Astra, ASTRA, you type Astra, or in the website itself you have a link or /Astra. Go here and register yourself. register yourself there. You will get the link to write Astra scholarship test, but the Astra scholarship test would be on Sunday, every Sunday. So you write the test and claim that scholarship discount amount in your coaching fee, tuition fee especially, okay. And this Astra, the syllabus for Astra is very, very simple syllabus, prelims, general studies and CSAT syllabus together. You will be asked basic questions, but not direct questions, but you need to think and answer those questions. Your logical thinking abilities and your reasoning abilities are being tested here, not just your knowledge. Because I want to identify the right people who can crack this examination with our guidance, so that when you crack this examination, you will feel like, sir, I got enough support from Analog IAS Academy, and that's what we want. So this time we already have got more than 90 ranks. 2024 examination, 2025 we got results. We have got more than 90 all India ranks. Some of them are from our foundation course, some of them are from my mentoring and our mentors support they have cracked, and some of them came for test series, some of them came for interview guidance program. So there are so many such students. Some of them actually, I am telling you frankly, some of them are actually from Astra scholarship test by itself, okay. And all the best for you guys. Write this Astra and attend all these Saturday topper talks, and then ensure that you have the right medium of your preparation. You need to have the right mentorship support. You need to have the right platform to crack your civil service examination, and we are there to support you guys from Analog IAS Academy. Thank you so much. We'll catch up later. Bye. Bye for today.